From the element of love being present in this episode, to Mineta just wanting to give his autograph to a girl, and then just this test overall, you really have a pretty fun episode of My Hero Academia. Now, the first half of the episode, while fun, it did feel like it was missing something, or we were going to build up to something much more exciting in the second half, which absolutely happened. This test, I have to say, this is good. I really enjoy, once again, how this episode highlights why UA is a step above all the other schools, because in this episode, mainly the second half, you start seeing some other schools, and some of these students, they feel pretty frightening. Even some of the teachers are kind of like, is UA doing something wrong? Like, why is Eraserhead not kind of teaching his students or warning his students about what they might face in this challenge? Yes, it does change each year, but clearly because UA is broadcasted to the world because they're the #1 school, everyone will know their quirks and everyone will go to them first as soon as whatever test begins, but he doesn't warn them. But I love the idea that he doesn't, because his clapback has to be one of the best lines in the entire show, because you have this chick who has like this ability to kind of make people laugh, they crack jokes, things like that. But I love how she's trying to say, like, you know, you clearly care for this class. You have over 20 students, and generally you have a lot less because you kick students out because you just don't like them. So obviously you do like them, so why didn't you warn them about the crushing? The idea that all the students are going to go after your students first, why wouldn't you warn them? And he says just the best thing ever, because when they get to become pro heroes, the villains are going to know their quirks no matter what. He's not going to be able to hold their hand, essentially. And I love that because it shows you why UA is, once again, a step above the other schools. And I love that because it's so true. Like, a true teacher, they're not going to hold your hand forever. They're going to put you on the right direction, which is the entire idea of training their quirks, building up their ultimate moves was for. But he's not going to kind of give them a piggyback ride throughout all their schooling, and I love that. And it really goes to show once again why UA is a step above all these other schools out there that probably are trying to piggyback their students for their entire ride, and I really like that. But this test is pretty insane. Only 1% of the students are going to pass. 100 students out of like 1,600, give or take. And the whole idea of essentially each are going to have 3 targets on their body. You have 6 of these tennis ball-like looking things where you're going to have to hit all the targets. Basically, whoever eliminates 2 people first gets to pass. And I like the idea that most of the UA students are working together. Obviously, when you look at someone like Todoroki, his abilities don't work good in a group setting, so him going on his own makes sense. And then Bakugo being a tsundere just, once again, is Bakugo being a tsundere, so that makes sense as well. But most of the students working together, having Deku almost feel like a leader, which Deku really does feel like a leader, even though he's not a master at his craft yet. He does strike me as someone who does invoke the, yeah, we want to follow a guy like him. So I like how when all the other students are kind of coming in to take them out because they know Deku is the guy who shatters his body if he ever uses his ability, so we can take him out first. He's deadly, but we just gotta take him out. But all the students, their training is paying off. You're seeing Deku use his ability, using his kicks. It's awesome. It's awesome to see all these characters really feel so much different and more grown than when you really compare them to even last season or the beginning of this season. It's really nice to see how their quirks and just overall personalities have evolved, and I really, really enjoy this. This episode, I think, it sprinkled in a little bit of everything that everyone's looking for. It did have that more romantic element kind of present. I am interested to see where that's going to go with Deku and everything like that, but I like how this episode was really kind of focused on the core cast, really showing the idea that you don't have to have a grand, giant-ass laser beam to count as an ultimate move. Deku, what he's doing right now, could count as an ultimate move because it will get him out of a situation and it wouldn't be able to be reproduced by the enemy. I'm really excited to see just how this battle is going to go. I'm going to assume it's going to end next week. It's going to be no longer than maybe 1 or 2 episodes before the test is over. Maybe it'll be giant, who the hell knows. But nonetheless, I'm excited because I was a little worried that maybe it would be a little too samey in comparison to the first test when they were entering UA, but I'm glad that it does have this air of, it feels familiar, but it's completely different all at the same time, and just seeing just the idea of this test, this giant ass arena, it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying this season overall. I'm really enjoying this core overall. I'm really excited to see just what's going to happen after they get their license, how many of the UA students are going to get their license. Just overall, this was a really fun episode of My Hero Academia, but let me know what you're feeling down in that comment section below. Your favorite moment, did you love it, did you hate it? Let me know what you're feeling, and if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you're new, also be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.